Hello and happy Friday, Pasolivo family. We are going to be working with @glutenfree.dave today to create a sweet potato hummus with classic extra virgin olive oil. So we are making a hummus, not with the traditional item. So the traditional item would be beans, and we're not going to be using the traditional beans. We're going to be using sweet potatoes, and I'm super excited for this because I am a huge fan of hummus, and I really like thinking outside of the box. So we have a white bean with rosemary olive oil hummus that was created here at Pasolivo some years ago that I swear by. So any option and change up, I love. I totally welcome in because this is something that you can bring to potlucks. This is something you can create for the holidays. And Gluten-Free Dave is going to be 2 today. So I think I've let him in and we're going to see how this. Oh, hello, Gluten-Free Dave.
Hi, Eleanor. How are you today?
Hello, Gluten-Free Dave friend.
Hi, Eleanor.
Hello.
How are you today?
Good, thank you. How are you doing?
Doing really well, thanks.
Wonderful. I'm really thrilled that we have you on today for a billion different reasons. I'm not gluten-free, but I definitely recognize the benefit of adding that into your diet, your nutrition, let's say. Why is it that you went gluten-free?
So I had struggled with some health issues for probably 10 or 15 years, and they're undiagnosed by the doctor. They treated me for heartburn, acid reflux, things like that, and it never got past the symptoms. And I changed doctors, and my new doctor diagnosed me with Hashimoto thyroid disease. And so I started taking some medicine for that. And then I was reading a lot of, online blogs and things about Hashimoto's and found that there's a high correlation between people with Hashimoto's and those with celiac disease or gluten intolerance. And at that time, I didn't know what gluten was. And so I was, started Googling that and symptoms. And, as I was going down the list, all of these seemingly unconnected, issues I had were all on this list of common symptoms. And so I, went back to the doctor and we got it figured out. And so I've been off of gluten for about 5 years, and I feel better than I have for decades. So that was a big missing link for me.
That is crazy. Have you been able to help others now kind of whittle it down to being gluten intolerant?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's, some coworkers, and they have some, spouses or the other people that have these issues. And a lot of the doctors aren't familiar with, diets and nutrition and some of these dietary issues. And so again, when I went back to my doctor, we struggled to get through the diagnosis because she wasn't something she was familiar with. And we eventually worked it out, but yeah.
I mean, the fact that you had to do your own research, and we sometimes will blindly just follow whatever doctors say, and it really is something that you need to, because you are the only person who's going to know your body and know your health and your comfort. So it does come down to actually doing the research yourself, and that does take work, but wow, the payoff. So that was 10 years of being misdiagnosed and not feeling great.
Yeah, and I mean, not to go into too much detail, but I was throwing up, 3 to 5 days a week for years. And but again, and since going gluten free, that's all cleared up. And like I say, I feel better than I have in a long time.
That's crazy. How long did it take you when you started eating gluten free? How long did it take you to start feeling the benefits?
So almost immediately I stopped, throwing up, and a lot of the bloating symptoms went away. But it, some of the unconnected things that I didn't realize was I was having a lot of joint pain, back and shoulders and hips. In fact, for my birthday one year, my wife got me an inversion table. So where you hook your feet in and you flip over.
Yep.
And that would relieve a lot of my back pain, and I would use that, 5 minutes a day. But after going gluten free, you know, all my joint pains went away as well. And after going 6 months without using the inversion table, we went ahead and got rid of it, gave it to my brother-in-law. And so, I mean, things like that. And then the craziest thing was brain fog. And I've heard people talk about brain fog, but I didn't really know what it was until it lifted. And it was probably 2 or 3 months into being gluten free. And I still remember I was sitting at my desk at work, and almost instantly, like colors got brighter, my vision improved. I was, my mind was clearer. I could think straight, and it was just, it was the strangest thing. And I was just like overjoyed and happy, almost like a punch drunk type of thing. And it was just, I didn't know how bad I was until I got better.
Right.
But,
wow. And just, I mean, just by, I'm not going to say tweaking a diet, because it does take some thought, but I mean, what's nice is in this day and age, you can go gluten-free, but you do see that on the shelves. What you're making today is gluten-free. So there are options out there wherever you go now. So it's a bit easier than it has been in the past.
Absolutely. And I've talked to some people who've been gluten-free for 10 or 20 years, and they said, 10 or 20 years ago, very few options. And, and those products that were available, they weren't very good. They're very bland or dry or heavy. And so they've come a long way.
We always have gluten-free crackers. Just a side note, we always have gluten-free crackers here at each of our tasting rooms to make sure that we're covering our bases. We're always very aware of the fact that someone could be gluten intolerant or celiac. And celiac is to the point sometimes you'd have to EpiPen someone if they touched bread. So you really have to be aware of that sort of stuff when you're working in the food industry.
Right.
Yeah. So we usually use gluten-free crackers for our tasting, for dipping into olive oil, dipping into the seasonings, the balsamics. What are you going to be using? You're making a hummus. You're making a sweet potato hummus. I love dips, spreads, all that sort of stuff, and I really love hummus. So I'm looking forward to this completely. What do you suggest using to scoop up this hummus?
So I like, so I've got some gluten-free crackers that I use, but my favorite's probably just fresh vegetables. Celery, carrots, sliced cucumber, things like that.
That's my language right there. And that's, I mean, I feel like you feel better too. You don't feel heavy. You don't feel weighed down. Yeah, like you said, that brain fog. Okay, well, let's get to it. I'm super excited. You're using our classic extra virgin olive oil in with this sweet potato hummus. So please show us, hold our hand, show us how to make this today.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get started.
Thank you.
So the first thing I do is add the sweet potato. And this is a large sweet potato. And just kind of comparison, this was about 10 or 11 ounces when I weighed it. And so I put it in the microwave for 6 minutes to get it hot and cook it. And then I set that to the side. But I cooked this right before we got online, so it's ready to go in my to the food processor. And so we'll start out by putting that in. And when the sweet potato is hot, fresh cooked, the hummus is going to be warm, and that's actually my favorite time to eat it. Yeah. We'll put the leftovers in the fridge, but I do prefer it warm right after it's been cooked.
So I'm going to ask an ignorant question. Garbanzo beans, do they have gluten in them?
No, they're not. So
okay.
Yeah, so beans. So gluten is in wheat, barley, anything that has malt in the name. Okay. And a few others. So So beans are safe, rice, potatoes,
Okay.
things like that. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we got a can of garbanzo beans or chickpeas. And so I'm going to strain these, and I'm going to reserve the liquid. And so this recipe was one that we got from a nutritionist a couple years ago. And I thought it was a little bit dry. And so started playing with the aquafaba, or the liquid that's in the garbanzo beans, to add that in there to get the consistency that I like. And so we'll add the chickpeas in there. And then, so for this, I'm going to put in a half of a cup of the aquafaba, or the juice from the chickpea can. And for me, that's the consistency, or the creaminess that I prefer. And the next, we're going to add a fourth of a cup of tahini. And so tahini, if you're not familiar with it, it's similar to like a really runny peanut butter, but it's made from, I believe, sesame seeds, and has some oil in it.
I was looking for it everywhere at one point and couldn't find it, so I ended up buying sesame seeds and making my own, and I was surprised at how easy that was to make your own. Yeah, just toast up some sesame seeds and grind them up, and with some oil, and I think that was about it. So yeah, side note.
Right.
I've
never tried that. That'd be something.
If you're in apocalyptic situations and you really need your tahini.
That's right. And you know, sometimes the tahini's hard to find in the grocery store. A lot of time they do stock it near the peanut butter, but sometimes it's in the Asian section. But so now we're going to add the juice of 1 lemon.
That's one of my favorite parts of the hummus, when it's got that tartness to it.
Right. And I think this is going to be about a fourth of a cup of lemon juice.
All right, as everybody's hopping on, I just want everybody to know we're following at glutenfree.dave right now. He's making us a sweet potato hummus with our classic extra virgin olive oil.
All right, so next we're going to add 3 cloves of garlic, and we're just going to, rough chop these, and then let the food processor do most of the work. And you can adjust this, for your taste. I like something very garlicky, so I tend to put in, more if it's just for myself. But typically, 3 is a good starting point.
And are the garlic cloves cooked at all, or are these fresh?
So these are fresh, and I peeled them before we got started, but yeah, they're fresh. All right, so next we're going to put in 1½ teaspoons of sea salt. And we've got 2 teaspoons of the ground cumin. And that's all of our ingredients. So pretty simple. So now put the lid on this and go ahead and blend this, and to the desired consistency. And I hope this isn't too loud. Okay, we'll call that good and go from there. So again, it's super easy to make, and I had my best friend introduced me to hummus probably about 15 or 20 years ago. I had never had it before, and I've always liked bean dips and things, and really enjoyed it. We tried to make it a couple times and didn't have a recipe that really worked for us and was unhappy with it. And so for years, we just bought the tubs at the grocery store. And after we discovered this recipe, I don't know that we've purchased hummus since we've been making this ourselves. And
No, I was surprised at how easy and how much hummus you get, how much fresher it is, and how much cheaper it is to make it at home. And I was wondering, like, is this a secret nobody tells anybody? Like, this is why are we buying this right now? So yeah, I absolutely agree.
exactly. Yeah. And then, and once you find a recipe that you enjoy, you can modify it, add more or less garlic or whatnot. And then this I'm going to top with some of the Pasolivo Garlic Lemon Olive Oil.
Ooh, nice. Yes.
And just drizzle probably about a tablespoon to the top of that. And then add something I like to have something a little bit crunchy on there. So these are some toasted, just plain onion.
Oh, yum.
Toasted,
Okay.
dehydrated, and I don't know if we can see that.
Yep.
And so then it's ready to go. So it's super simple. It's just a few ingredients. It's naturally gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan. So it's something that everybody can enjoy. It's popular, at parties, appetizers, and like I say, we make a batch of this most weekends, and I like to use it as a spread on a sandwich and things like that.
Huh. Yeah, that sounds delicious, actually. Yeah, with some nice grilled veggies. I love that.
Absolutely.
Can we get a close-up of the prepared dish? I'm getting all excited. My mouth is watering all the way over here. You guys you're in Kansas City, correct?
That's right. We're in Kansas City, Kansas.
Oh, okay, so you're not sending that to me anytime soon. Okay, that's a bummer. Oh, I love how it was prepared too with all those veggies. That looks fantastic.
Right. Yeah,
Oh, wow. So how do you do the onions?
the onions.
The little toasted onions on the top?
These actually are purchased.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And
I love that.
Yeah, it's just the only ingredient's onions. They just dehydrate them and toast them, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, that gives you that nice mouthfeel as well, that nice crunch.
That's right.
That's a great idea.
And I was going to also point out the olives. So this is Pasolivo sun-dried tomato stuffed olives, which are fantastic.
Aren't they? Yeah. Those. I can open a jar of these and just eat them watching TV and have no idea what happened to my jar. Like, where'd they go? I can't eat them all. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. So you used our garlic lemon olive oil drizzled on top of your sweet potato hummus.
Yep. And then we had the classic extra virgin olive oil inside the hummus.
All right. Yeah. So because it gives a nice mouthfeel to have that oil inside as well. That a little bit of good fat in there really helps with the kind of a emulsification of everything together. Mm-hmm. And then that garlic lemon is just gorgeous, so works perfectly for the top. And also, since you put the lemon juice inside, it's going to bring out and kind of liven up that lemon juice and that garlic that you put inside. Perfect pairing. That is genius. God, that sounds amazing. Thank you so much for having us and for teaching us a little bit of that. I like the idea of putting that sweet potato in because that's a really good carb. I know people don't feel like there's a good carb out there, but it is a fantastic carb to have in your diet. Works really well with a lot of people's bodies. So it's a nice one to have in there. So, and also tastes delicious and adds that beautiful color to it too. So thank you so much for creating that for us. That is definitely something I think I'm going to be using Thanksgiving, Christmas, holiday time to bring out. Because I can see, like you said, that's going to disappear real quick.
Right. As we get into football season or soccer, whatever you're into, and your watch parties, it's a popular finger food in that setting.
Absolutely. Yeah. That thank you so much for being able to hop on with us. I know there's got to be a time. How late is it over there?
We're 2 hours later than you, so 8:20.
Eight. Okay, it's not too bad. We don't have you up past midnight or something.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for cooking for us. And the recipe, guys, is online on pasolivo.com. So you can hop on there. You can see the bundle that we sent over to Dave. You can see what he used. And follow Dave. If they have any gluten-free questions, can they message you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be happy to. I've learned so much, and I'm happy to pass on, what information and knowledge I do have to others.
I think that's fantastic. Thank you so much for paying it forward. It's so troubling to think that people can sit in pain and discomfort for years on end and not have an answer. So to have somebody to touch base and kind of bounce ideas off is always nice. So thank you very much. And thank you for this. Guys, maybe take a week or 2 weeks, switch out your diet, see what happens. Nothing happens, no harm, no foul. Go back to eating all the bread you want. But maybe, just possibly, something will change. Maybe that brain fog will disappear. Maybe you will stop making noises when you sit down and stand up. You know who I'm talking to. That's right. So, hey, there's a possibility you might change your life around just by using some of Dave's recipes. So follow, it's at glutenfree.dave, and you can follow him for all kinds of gluten-free recipes. His whole house is gluten-free at this point, correct? That's
right. Yeah, about 2 or 3 years ago, we made the change at home that everybody at home eats gluten-free.
And it's worked. And nothing's fallen apart. Everybody's good. No, everybody's normal still. So it can be done, guys. It's not that big a deal, and it might change your health for the better. So definitely something to follow up to. Maybe follow him, see what he's been cooking up, see what he's been making, ask him questions if you have questions, and let us know if you make this hummus, because it looks perfect for Thanksgiving. This is because it's got that sweet potato in it, it's a perfect roll in to some turkey, some stuffing, or whatever else the green beans, everything that you're making. It's a perfect thing to have right at the beginning with your red wine as you're sitting around and enjoying company before somebody starts getting obnoxious and talking politics at the table. It's fun times. Yay, Thanksgiving. I hope everybody has a fantastic 3-day weekend. Dave, do you have any great plans for the next 3 days?
I'm going to do some painting, so.
All right, well, come on.
I know, I'm not excited about it. I'll paint fast and hopefully relax on Monday.
There you go, exactly. Labor Day is specifically to make sure that everybody gets a day of rest. So, yeah, take a day off from painting and relax and enjoy yourself. And we'll try to do the same. Thank you so much, Dave. And thank you so much, camera lady. We appreciate it. And happy anniversary, right? Isn't there an anniversary that you guys just had?
No, well, in March. So, yeah,
in March. Well, happy belated anniversary, guys. Have a good one. Have a fantastic evening, and thank you for sticking around with us.
All right. Thank you. Good night.
All right. Good night. Everybody else, I will let you know that we do have a show coming October 1st. It is at 6 p.m., just the same place, same time. You know what we're doing now. First Friday every month, 6 p.m. I got you. This time it's going to be making pistachio pasta with roasted tomatoes and truffle ricotta. I mean, obviously I had to read that because there's no way I could get that out. But it sounds amazing. And to think I could make this at home makes me thrilled. So she's using the garlic olive oil, the basil olive oil, the spicy Italian blend, and the truffle salt that we have. All amazing products. You just buy that bundle, you're going to wow people no matter what. So that's a huge, perfect bundle to start picking up, to get prepped to follow along and cook October 1st. But for right now, you can get the recipe, the bundle, everything from today on our website, so pasolivo.com. And if you want to have the heads up on anything that we've got going on, Harvest is coming up, and it's so fun. You have to come visit us. Harvest is coming up in November. You will want to know about it We are so transparent. We love having you guys come and visit and take tours and check out fresh olive oil, like that was on the tree that morning, kind of fresh. So if you want a heads up about all of that sort of stuff, please go to our website. There is a little sign up for email heads up, for updates. So find the sign up form. It's on the bottom right hand corner on our main homepage, and sign up for emails, because that will get you in the know of all the stuff that's coming up. Like our brand new vinegar that just came out, and harvest coming up, and when it's going to be, since it's a moving target, and what other IG shows are coming up, so you will be in the know. So that is a fantastic way to just get heads up, get recipes, get all kinds of goodies. Sometimes we do discounts. I know, and it's all online, so you have to be able to be in the know. So get yourself on that email list. It is a good deal. Have a fantastic 3-day weekend. I will see you on Friday, October 1st. We are getting into the Halloween kind of month, which is one of my favorites. So I'm really looking forward to all of that. Holiday season, it gets no better. But for now, there's 100-degree weather outside, for me at least. So we will be enjoying the sun for a little bit longer on this 3-day weekend. Have a safe, fantastic 3-day weekend, and we will see you next month and online until then. Bye, guys. Have a good one.